Right now to our first conversation. Agentic commerce represents a transformative shift in the digital shopping landscape, moving beyond traditional e-commerce by integrating intelligent, autonomous agents into the consumer journey. Unlike conventional, platforms where users manually browse and make decisions. Well, in this discussion, we will explore key aspects of agentic commerce, including its distinction from traditional e-commerce, the role of AI agents in enhancing personalization and decision-making. Well, joining us to discuss this is Ololade Babalola. He's the founder in Endura Labs. He knows a thing or two about AI agents. Great to have you on the show. Good morning.
Thanks again, Ladi, for having me. Always glad to be here.
So break it down to me like I'm a 5-year-old. What is agentic commerce, and how does it differ from traditional e-commerce? Because I thought with e-commerce, we had hit the top, at this point, but it seems there's more.
I mean, I guess there stops being more when a product is killed or at the end of a product life cycle. I guess 5-year-old. The best way I'll try to explain it is it's the next iteration of commerce. And by that, it is where autonomous agents, and from the word autonomous, agents that can move by themselves, make decisions based on whatever task you've provided them, go ahead and get stuff done. However, I want to mention a very, very interesting distinction. AI is not new. However, the way I like to explain it to people is the door has finally been opened to the consumer. So for the longest time, when we talk about like Instagram or commerce platforms, they have always had algorithms that we talk about that learn user behavior and those type of things. But now users are also getting access to AI. So the catchy way to say it is AI is being democratized, and the watershed moment was with the launch of ChatGPT, as we all know it. So in agentic commerce, the agents act on behalf of humans. You literally can have an agent programmed to help you fulfill a need. So let's say you just had a baby and you have to buy baby formula at a set cadence. You can have an agent that can literally factor in the cadence at which maybe your baby runs through formula and make sure you never run out of formula. It's different from traditional commerce because we do all that manual stuff. We're toggling between, let's say, Wakana or different websites, but the agent, based on whatever task it's programmed to do, helps you fulfill your needs.
So that means if I want to buy stuff across different platforms, I talk to the AI and say, okay, you need to get me this, and that from all of these platforms, and I'll allow it to make that decision for me. What else can it do?
I guess, so we like to think about AI agents as things that do what humans are capable of. And by that, what I mean is an AI agent, because human beings can surf the internet, browse web pages, they learn these human behaviors as well. So if you can have, let's just say, an e-commerce agent, depending on the type of things that you buy. So that agent already knows what your shopping list is. It's factored into whatever the programming is. It can buy you plane tickets, food, whatever, the myriad of stuff. It can order Uber Eats for you. I was watching a podcast the other day where an agent ordered like water for everybody on the podcast. So there's little limit to it. However, the more intelligent these agents get, the more possibilities exist. Agents can literally reply your emails. You could have a messaging agent. When you go down the rabbit hole, you see that people have actually just agentified their lives. So they have an agent for messaging and scheduling. They have an agent for commerce. And some of them have even integrated these agents into WhatsApp or voice-based comments where you tell the agent, find me a ticket between this day and this date, and the airline I fly, I fly business, best ticket prices, and these things are already happening.
Right. So, Ololade, I'm the kind of guy, if I go to the market and, the seller tells me, okay, Ladi, this thing is 3,000 naira, I would say no, I'll pay 2.5 or I'll pay 2,000. I like a good deal. I feel like, most things are overpriced at this point. Can the AI agent get me a good deal?
Matter of fact, way better than human beings can. So we need to realize the internet is a global marketplace. So the AI agent can do comparison prices quicker than we can ever imagine it. So versus you having like 20 plus tabs trying to find the best price for a product, the AI can go through everything, and you could also put safety measures in place because I remember during COVID, I got scammed for buying a PlayStation from a fake website. So with experiences like that, they can inform the programming of your AI agent where you add recommendations for websites as a criteria for the types of websites that the agent interacts with to make sure it's not getting ridiculous prices from fishy websites or whatever the case is, but it can review multiple websites, do the comparing of prices, and get you your best deal to make sure laddie who likes to get the best bang for his buck gets the best out of his money for the deals that he's looking for.
I'm guessing this agent can make payments on my behalf.
Okay, so just kind of like we do these days, that can be embedded where you have to give it permission to bank details. And I think we spoke about it previously where maybe being a crypto person, I'm a bit proponent of it. You can also decide to have a special bank account where, because this is for this use case, and if any worst case scenario thing ever happens, I don't want it to be my main account where my life savings or my operational cost for my life is. So you do get granted access, and based on that permission you've granted it makes the purchases for you. And you could also have it send you a notification when the money in the account is getting low. So that way you know that I need to top up the money in the account that this agent helps conduct transactions with.
All right, I need to remember that. Don't let the agent have access to my life savings at this point. So what role do, autonomous agents play, in supply chain optimization and, dynamic pricing?
So I would say on the company side, they help with real-time decisions on inventory. Once again, the rate at which AI can peruse data is nothing any human being can ever do. So I can imagine the type of AI companies like Maersk, or just even companies that we deal with, or let's say Alibaba and the Amazons that have magnanimous amounts of data. They help with figuring out what is low here and maybe what needs to be ordered much quicker from suppliers. And that is not in any way comparable with the way that human beings will do. Let's say human beings still, I would use a spreadsheet, I will track my inventory this way. AI agents sift through copious amounts of data and give you the exact information that you're looking for. And on top of that, they're able to analyze trends, like I said, competitor prices and shipping delays. And this information is, I don't want to say at the speed of light, but very, very super fast. And that feeds into compute, like what type of energy or compute allocation are you giving this AI? Because the more powerful it is, the quicker the responses you get from the agent.
All right, and definitely we always keep talking about AI replacing this and that, but do you think AI-powered commerce agents will replace human customer service, or will they somewhat augment it?
I think right now it might not be safe to replace. So right now maybe we're still in the early innings of augmentation. There is going to be human supervision. But and this is my opinion, what I believe happens is over time, not entire replacement, but replacement of some sort. So if you have a call center with 100 people, if we have agents that can do L1 and L2 support on the phone, I probably would see organizations chop in 60 to 70% of their workforce and still have human oversight. So the phrase in the AI space is human in loop. So you're not giving them entire control, but because you know that they can handle, based on your analytics, the most consistent conversations, then you have agents having those conversations. However, when they get to a stumbling block, there's a human that they can escalate those calls to. So if your call center has, let's say, 100,000 calls a day, maybe you're routing 80,000 or 90,000 or however percentage of those calls to AI, and then human beings are continuing the L3, L4, L5 level conversations. And one thing I would add to that is it's going to hit every industry. Things like customer service are still the easiest things. It's going to hit as many industries as possible, but it's not going to be an entire replacement. There is going to be a transformation of what human roles are going to be in a lot of spaces.
So what would you say are the ethical and security challenges of deploying AI agents in commerce?
Definitely, you want to be wary of things like human beings and what becomes of human beings. Human beings are made to work. When you displace human beings, what happens and what becomes of human beings? I joke about tech folks, and I was having this conversation recently with tech folks all the time only like to be the optimistic people where, oh, this is going to create new jobs. But when you probably do a heat map of jobs lost versus job gain, those numbers probably are not going to line up. So from a human ethical standpoint, you definitely want to factor in what the society become. A lot of people are talking about universal basic income, which means people are not going to be doing anything, and governments are going to give them, let's just say, minimum wage, livable wage to have them get through life. I don't know what humanity becomes at that point. So these are things that need to be factored in before the complete proliferation of what AI finally becomes the end state. And this is not even talking about AGI. This is just the transformation that we're going to see in the next 2 to 5 years.
And, I'm wondering because, I watch a lot of movies, and I'm imagining at some point, maybe when we're done with, the digital AI agents, maybe we might not have physical AI agents, at some point. My imagination's always always running. But how can businesses prepare for the transition to, agentic commerce?
I like to say that in the product world, you want to think about it in this moment from a two-lens strategy, offense or defense. Defense is you're not just knee-jerking and creating a new solution. You are looking at your current solution and you're leveraging what that solution is and how AI can be embedded into it. So it's using the existent, because when these trends happen, a lot of people tend to just knee-jerk and say, oh, we need to allocate X to an AI team, but you kind of need to think about it. So I would say I would play with channels and say, you guys have copious amounts of data. You guys know the programs that get the most. You know the programs that get maybe a bit less eyeballs. That data is what should inform your AI strategy for starters versus just manufacturing something new. And sometimes it's, okay, do we start to toy with digital anchors on hours that maybe folks are supposed to be sleeping? So do we have agents and bots that are reporting news? Do we have customized news to individual users that we really cannot scale using human beings to tell Babs this or Lolade this very type of news, but maybe agents can? Do we expand our user base that way? So companies kind of need to understand the landscape, understand the space they're playing in to inform what their AI strategies are going to be. Well, I believe everybody should be thinking about their AI strategies right now.
Right. Well, Ololade, don't let AI replace me, please. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ololade Babalola, the founder of Endura Labs. Thank you for breaking all of this down for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.